Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. A number of Filipinos wanting to come home from overseas will have to wait just a little longer. The government has extended the travel ban on 9 countries until September 5. Gerard de la Peña with the story.
Sarah flew to India to study yoga for 2 months, but she has not been able to return since the pandemic started. Sarah shares that she has become stronger as a person, especially as she is staying in one of the countries worst hit by COVID-19.
Almost every day nakakarinig kami ng ambulance na dumadaan. So alam mo na merong sinasagip, merong kailangan dalhin sa hospital ASAP.
The travel ban on foreign passengers from India, where the Delta variant was first detected, has been in place since April 29. The government recently extended the ban on several countries, including India, to September 5. Other countries in the list are Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, UAE, Oman, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Travelers from these countries are not allowed to enter the Philippines except for those who are part of the government's repatriation program. The entry of Filipinos from these countries also poses challenges on the availability of quarantine facilities. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA says that situation in quarantine hotels are still manageable at the moment, but they are inching closer to full capacity with 8,500 overseas Filipino workers currently occupying 178 isolation facilities.
Mas puno ngayon ang mga hotel facilities because of the arrivals from the travel-restricted countries who need to spend 14 days of quarantine. So yun, ang panawagan lang siguro namin sa mga nanunumbalik na OFWs, unawain lang na when we have a great volume of OFWs returning.
Kakdak says that a number of Filipinos overseas are still lining up to be included in the repatriation or special commercial flights.
Hiningi ko lang ang pasensya, but also at the same time the assurance, no, na naipamalas na ng pamahalaan na kaya kung sa kaya na makauwi lahat ng mga mahal nating OFWs na kailangan umuwi, lalo na ngayon padating ang Pasko. So
the Labor Department has asked for 7.5 billion pesos in funds for the repatriation of Filipinos as well as quarantine expenses upon their arrival. The Budget Department has so far downloaded 3.5 billion pesos, which could last until October. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, we are One News.
Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. says that the bulk of new Pfizer arrivals will go to provinces that are seeing a spike in COVID-19 cases. Galvez said the country is expecting a total of 4 million Pfizer doses for the month of September. This is still part of the 40 million COVID-19 shots that will be delivered in tranches during the 4th quarter of this year. Some 51,000 out of the 703,000 Pfizer doses that arrived on Wednesday evening have already been sent to Cebu. The rest of the vaccines are being temporarily stored at a cold chain facility in Marikina City. The Health Department reported over 16,600 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday. This has brought our total caseload to 2,020,000, some 146,000 of which are still considered active. 148 new deaths were confirmed overnight, pushing the death toll to over 33,600. And upon verification, 66 cases previously tagged as recoveries have been reclassified as deaths. On the other hand, we have recoveries now at 1,840,000, with 10,900 new survivors logged in the last 24 hours. 26.9% of nearly 61,000 people tested for today's COVID-19 bulletin yielded positive results. We'll have more stories after this quick break. Stay with us. One News Now, I'm Sean Yao. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos has confirmed that he is planning to run for president in 2022 and that his team has begun canvassing support. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us the front seat to the story.
Former Senator Bongbong Marcos has confirmed he's considering running for president next year.
Kung titignan mo yung survey, I do better in the presidential survey than the vice presidential survey. So yes, I think that's a common sentiment that many of our supporters want me definitely to run for the presidency. That's the reason why I'm even considering it.
Marcos said this at an online forum with Filipino-Chinese entrepreneurs, during which he also confirmed he and his team have been going around talking to constituents. When pressed for a timeline, Marcos said he will wait until the last possible minute to announce his decision. The filing of certificates of candidacy for all elective positions is from October 1 to 8 this year.
My plan is that I will use as much time as I have to make sure that I come to the right decision. It's a possibility that it's certainly part of the plan. The presidency is not taken off the table by any means.
Marcos also said he hasn't decided which party to run under next year. The only son of the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos visited Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio in Davao in May, in what many saw as an effort to build alliances. His sister Amy Marcos is also reportedly vying to become Mayor Sara's vice presidential running mate. I'm Pamela Vasquez and we are One News.
And Senator Bongo has also confirmed his intention to run in the 2022 polls as Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte's running mate. Citing his, quote, devotion to the Dutertes, Go said he personally asked Sara to be his running mate if she ever decides to seek the presidency. The senator hopes that his experience in politics under the Duterte administration will help Sara reach her goals for the country. However, Go noted that he will only run as Sara's vice president if President Duterte will not run against him for the post. The ruling party, PDP Laban, has nominated Go as its standard-bearer for the 2022 polls, alongside President Duterte, who will be running for vice president. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Health Department has lowered the price cap of RT-PCR swab tests to a maximum of 2,800 pesos in public labs and 3,360 pesos for private labs, effective September 6. The agency added that a maximum of 1,000 pesos may be added on top of the testing costs for home service. NTF COVID-19 Deputy Chief Implementer Carlito Galvez Jr. said that they are considering to hold multiple voting days for the 2022 national elections. Galvez said that they will work on legislation with Congress and the COMELEC to extend voting days and have a so-called voting in phases scheme by region. And in sports, Filipino para-swimmer Gary Behino failed to advance to the medal rounds of his third event in the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics. Behino, who finished last among 13 swimmers in the men's 400-meter freestyle S6 heats, still has one more backstroke event to swim on Friday. And exciting news for the whole family as Signal brings you 11 more awesome channels with free viewing starting this September until October 15. More blockbuster movies on Tap Movies, Tap Action Flicks, and Tagalized movie channels. More interesting or entertaining and trendy shows on Lotus Macau and Tap TV. More heart-pounding sports action on Premier Sports and Varsity Channel. And more fun learning for your kids at home on Moonbug Kids and DreamWorks. For more details, visit Signal's website or Facebook page. And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.